When the 4-Hour Workweek was first published in 2007, it did not merely enter the self-help or business section, it detonated inside it. Ferriss promised not incremental productivity improvement but a fundamental redesign of life. The subtitle itself, Escape 9 to 5, Live Anywhere, and Join the New Rich, announces revolution. At its core, the book argues that traditional career trajectories are flawed, that deferred life plans work now, retire at 65 are irrational, and that automation, outsourcing, and mobility can collapse work into a minimal weekly obligation. Ferriss does not frame his book as time management advice. He frames it as liberation. But beneath the manifesto lies something more complex, a mix of lifestyle design philosophy, early internet entrepreneurship strategy, productivity systems, and psychological reframing. It is both empowering and controversial, visionary and occasionally naive. The new rich versus the deferred life plan. Ferriss introduces a binary: the deferrers, those who work decades to enjoy retirement. The new rich are those who use leverage, automation, and mobility to enjoy mini retirements throughout life. This framing is rhetorically powerful. Ferriss reframes wealth as freedom of time and mobility, not accumulation of money. What you do is infinitely more important than how you do it. This is not merely motivational language, it is strategic positioning. Ferriss targets high-performing but dissatisfied professionals who feel trapped by prestige careers. Critical evaluation strengths. Forces readers to question inherited assumptions. Reorients wealth toward autonomy. Anticipates modern, remote work culture. Weaknesses. Presents a somewhat false dichotomy between conventional careers and radical freedom. Underestimates structural realities, family obligations, visa restrictions, capital requirements. Romanticizes entrepreneurship. Ferriss uses his own life story as evidence. He narrates burnout, overwork, and his pivot toward automation and mobility. The storytelling builds credibility, but also centralizes a highly atypical personality. Part 2. Elimination. This is arguably the intellectual core of the book. Ferriss borrows heavily from Vilfredo Pareto, 80/20 principle, Peter Drucker, effectiveness over efficiency. 1. The 80/20 rule. Ferriss argues, 80% of results come from 20% of inputs. 80% of problems come from 20% of customers. 80% of income often comes from 20% of clients. He urges ruthless elimination. 2. Low information diet. Ferriss suggests limiting news consumption and non-essential information. He frames news as addictive and rarely actionable. 3. Selective ignorance. Ferriss encourages ignorance as strength. By ignoring noise, one can act faster and more decisively. Critical perspective. This section remains surprisingly durable. In today's hyperconnected world, Ferriss's warnings about distraction feel prophetic. The low information diet anticipates modern digital minimalism movements. However, selective ignorance can slide into willful ignorance. In complex political or social environments, being uninformed carries ethical implications. Not all professions allow ruthless elimination. Still, this section is arguably the book's most universally applicable contribution. This is where the book becomes most controversial. Ferriss advocates building a small, niche business, using outsourcing and virtual assistants, automating income streams, removing oneself from daily operations. The muse concept. Ferriss introduces the idea of a muse, a low-maintenance product business. Often physical goods, market-tested before launch, designed for automation. He describes creating a nutritional supplement company and outsourcing most operations. Outsourcing to virtual assistants. Ferriss discusses hiring assistants in countries like India to perform email management, research, booking, travel, customer service. Ethical considerations. This section has drawn criticism for instrumentalizing global labor, oversimplifying cross-cultural management, presenting outsourcing as frictionless. However, Ferriss was writing at a moment when remote freelance work was emerging. Today's global gig economy reflects many of these predictions. Ferriss moves from income to mobility. Mini retirements rather than retiring at 65. Ferriss suggests taking 1 to 6 month breaks. Traveling, learning languages, immersing in cultures. He describes tango in Argentina and martial arts in Japan. This section blends memoir and aspiration. It romanticizes geographic freedom and self-reinvention. Remote work negotiation. Ferriss includes scripts for negotiating remote work arrangements. In 2007, this was radical. After COVID-19, it is mainstream. The Psychology of Fear Setting. One of the book's most enduring contributions is fear setting. Ferriss proposes: define worst-case scenarios. Define prevention steps. Define repair steps. Define cost of inaction. This cognitive reframing reduces paralysis. Unlike productivity hacks, this method addresses psychological barriers. Narrative style and rhetorical strategy. Ferriss writes with aggressive confidence, tactical specificity, anecdotal proof, provocative framing. He blends self-help with startup culture. Critically, Ferriss uses shock value, 4-hour workweek, contrarian tone, tactical scripts and templates. The book reads less like philosophy and more like a playbook. Strengths of the book: reframing wealth as time, promotion of leverage, focus on effectiveness, encouragement of experimentation, anticipation of remote work economy. Ferriss helped legitimize location independence, digital entrepreneurship, lifestyle design, side hustle culture, criticisms and limitations. 1. Unrealistic expectations. The title itself is hyperbolic. Very few businesses truly require 4 hours per week. 2. Survivor bias. Ferriss presents success stories but less discussion of failure rates. 3. Ethical ambiguity. The book largely ignores worker protections, global inequality, platform dependency risks. 4. Personality bias. Ferriss's strategy suits risk-tolerant individuals, self-starters, people without heavy dependence. It may not suit risk-averse individuals, those in regulated professions, those without startup capital.